What's up, YouTube Nation? Videobob here. Sitting here in an island in the middle of the turnaround at the Las Vegas Paris hotel where I'm staying, and decided to come here to Vegas for the weekend because I wanted to see one of my #1 heroes, David Lee Roth, performing at the House of Blues. Saw the show last night. It was absolutely fantastic. You know, I know people were complaining about him a little bit, but the man could do no wrong to me. I think it was fantastic. So on one of my other channels, on my other Rubber Mosley channel, I posted the entire live concert. Anyway, so much to talk about. You know, I recently just posted up the video of me getting my car back. I want to try to answer some questions. That's one of the reasons I want to do this video, because basically there's so much shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know what I mean? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda done this. I woulda done that. You coulda done this. So I want to try to answer some of there's like literally thousands of comments, and I wanted to try to talk about some of them. Number one thing, my shop is located in Duncanville, Texas. Now, you cannot just open a paint shop, right? You can't just, you know, in order to get a paint shop, for me to put a paint shop in my building, you know, you have to meet all sorts of fire regulations, you know, ventilation systems. You're dealing with chemicals. You have to have blast-proof cabinets to keep your paints in. And the bottom line is Duncanville is not issuing any new body shop certificates. There's no way that I could put a paint booth in my shop legally. It's just not going to happen, okay? And there's not too many paint shops left in that area. Now, most of the paint shops that are the places like Collision King and these kind of the corporate kind of paint shops, Mako, they only do like insurance jobs. You know, fender bender situations on like a Honda Accord or something. They don't do custom work. You go in there with a 30, 40-year-old car and say, I needed this done in custom show quality. They won't take the job. And the kind of people that do have those kind of paint shops, you call them, they go, yeah, I can get to it in about a year. I'm busy, you know. So I've been trying to get some of these cars painted for years. And finding a reputable paint shop is just virtually impossible. So these guys, the Texas Elite Collision, I just happened to find them. I drove past their place every day, and I just cold called them. I pulled in there. I go, hey, man, what kind of work do you guys do? And the guy showed me all these pictures of all these amazing cars. He goes, oh, we do all this show quality finish. I said, dude, can you do show quality work? I want a piano finish on this car. It needs to be perfect. Oh, yeah, man, I can do it. I can do it. Well, the first job he did for me was, if you remember my old Cadillac CTSVs, I had 2 of those, and I let them take one of them that had a dented fender, and they fixed it, and they did a good job on it. They only charged me about $700. Then I had them work on the Ecto, and the Ecto had a wrecked back fender, and they cut the fender off of a 1960 Cadillac and welded it on there, and I think they did a pretty good job. They charged me, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000. They got it done in a couple of weeks, and it came out okay. You know, it was all right. So then I took them the Rolls Royce. They had the Rolls Royce for about a month or so, and they also at the same time picked up this other Trans Am, and they had them both there for a while. And part of the deal with the Rolls Royce was that they were supposed to replace the door, which I gave them the door. The price was $8,500. I also gave them a '66 custom van that I had that they wanted, and I traded it as part of the deal. So I kind of left that out as part of the deal. And when he delivered the car, it was just covered in dust, and you know, where it had been sanded, and it was filthy. And when I picked up the car, I was in a hurry. I didn't really get a chance to inspect it. You know, it was a gloomy day. The sun wasn't out. I couldn't really tell how the finish was. You know, unless the car is like properly cleaned and buffed out and everything, you can't really tell how the car looks. You know? So I paid him the money. I took the car, and I wasn't happy with it. I called him up and I said, man, we got to do something about this. He goes, don't worry, man. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We were just in a hurry, you know, you needed the car in a hurry, so I said, all right, whatever. Then while I was out of town, I was here in Vegas on another trip, they dropped off the other Trans Am that they were working on. And it was the same deal, it was garbage. And I called them up, I go, dude, man, my guys, I'm out of town, but my guys looked at the car and they said it is not good at all. Oh man, we're gonna fix it, we're gonna fix it. I go, dude, what's with all this? I'm gonna fix it. I don't wanna deal with this anymore. So what he did was he came by the shop with his tow truck and picked up the other car that was in the parking lot. Because see, you got to understand, these other cars were in the garage. This other car was sitting outside. It was sitting in the parking lot. He came by, took the car back to his shop, and he says, I'm going to hold this other car as collateral till you pay me for the other one. Well, that's not how it works. You can't hold one car as hostage for payment for another car. So the reason I didn't blast him up until now is because we were trying to work it out. I knew that it was going to be a problem. I knew that it was going to be I think. And all these people talking about, I would have went in there with my gun and I would have did this. Dude, if I'd have gone in there with my Beretta and pointed at his face, I wouldn't be sitting here in Vegas right now. I'd be in jail. You cannot, it's in the Texas carry laws. You can't brandish your weapon unless you plan on shooting somebody in the face with it, like the church shooter guy did. No one should ever see your gun, if it's a concealed weapon, unless they're threatening your life and you plan on killing them with the gun. So no, I'm not going to go there with a gun, pull out a gun. I also did not touch this guy. He tried to say that some of his friends and family are trying to post that, I punched him and they got proof of this. If I had laid a finger on this guy, I would have went to jail. The police came there, they looked at his security video, and they determined that there was no assault made, and they just told me to leave. Now, I think that the 3 hours that I was waiting for the police to get there, I think they edited out the part where they pushed me. They were surrounded me, pushing me. You saw the video of the one guy smacking me in the hand with the camera. That's not a big deal, but this other guy was pushing me, and that's when I said, hey, you're assaulting me. Don't touch me. Listen, it's not that big a deal, like I wasn't really injured, but the point is you can't lay your hand on anybody in today's world, okay? Then the thing about them locking me while I was being locked up in the garage, which was kind of momentarily, they closed all the doors and locked them. Then they came back later and opened the other door. Now I could have exited through the office door where he was sitting, and he was standing on the other side of the door looking at me. And I said, the safest thing to do here is call the police, have the police come out here and handle this. And that's what I did. I called the police and I said, I need you to come out here. We have a situation. I called 6 times. My wife called several times. My YouTube my Facebook followers called many times because I posted on YouTube. Took them over 3 hours to come out. And they did nothing. I said, I want to press charges on this guy. No, we're not going to do that. Like, really? So, I will be filing 3 separate lawsuits on them. So, you guys watching at the paint shop, lawsuits are coming. And I've got friends that work at both the fire marshal and code enforcement. They're going to be paying you some visits. So, they don't run a professional operation, and they're going to be real sorry. And they've been trying. They're trying their damnedest to stop me saying what I'm saying right now. They filed privacy complaints to YouTube saying that I invaded their privacy by posting their public address and public phone number that's on their public sign on the outside of their building. That's going to fail. They also posted a video talking about how I was like a liar or something. And then they took the video down. Then if you notice, all of their Google reviews are all family members. And I can tell, because all of the same people that posted positive Google reviews on them are the same people that are defending them, saying that they're cousins or nephews or whatever on my YouTube. And I've been blocking, deleting those people because, I don't want them to see what's going on. So, that's what's going on with the paint shop. So all these people that, you should open your own paint shop. You should go to a reputable place. How do you know if a place is reputable? You deal with them and you can only go by what they say, and they show you photos, and it's like, you can't trust Google reviews, and you can't trust this stuff. And I don't have a lot to choose from, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of paint shops. Finding a reputable paint shop is just really difficult. And I know all these people go, why don't you go to this guy? Why don't you go? It's not that easy, man. I have tried. I've gone to all those places. Yeah, I can get to it in 6 months. I need this car done in 2 weeks. Nah, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Or some of these guys are so proud of their work. I can paint your $2,000 car for $15,000. I have a budget to work in, you know what I mean? People can only afford to pay so much for one of these cars, right? I can't charge, $100,000 for a Trans Am. People aren't going to pay it, right? So I can't afford to spend that kind of money on the paint job. So $5,000 is like a lot of money for a paint job, you know what I mean? And you think you could get a decent factory kind of paint job for that kind of money. Well, not with these guys again. All right, so other things going on in my life. And this is pretty rough. Yesterday, not only did I found out that one of our really close friends, my wife's friend, our friend Janess, used to stay with us, a chick that we were friends with. We found out she died on January 4th of a drug overdose. But my brother Doug, none of you have ever met. I never talked about him, but he had lung cancer. He was in ICU. He chose to take himself off of life support yesterday while I was here. He asked to have his tubes removed from his breathing apparatus, and he died within an hour. So while I was here trying to get away from all this and try to get some sanity back in my life and have a good time, my brother essentially committed suicide by asking to be removed off of life support, and he died last night. And it sucks. It sucks a lot, you know. But it was his decision. There was nothing he could do about it. He wasn't going to live. It was very selfish of me to ask him, can you keep living till Monday so I can come say goodbye to you? I said, man, you got to do whatever you got to do. I talked to him on the phone last night. Well, he couldn't speak, actually. He would write, and then my mom would translate. Told him goodbye. Told him I loved him. He said he loved me too, and he just said, I got to go. So I'm here to see David Lee Roth because Van Halen has always been a big part of my life, just as Kiss and other bands like that. As many of you know, I used to work for Vinnie Paul from Pantera. He was one of my best friends. He told me a story one time. He said the last thing his brother Daryl ever said to him before his brother was killed, the last thing that he ever said to him was Van Halen. Van Halen was like a little code word between them that just meant good times. Because that's what the original Van Halen band was about, good times, cars, girls. And Dime was warming up to a Van Halen tune. You know, he was warming up his fingers. And Vinny, you know, walked past him going to the stage, and Dime said, Van Halen. And they gave a fist bump. And that was the last thing they ever said to each other. They went on stage, and moments later, Nathan Gale came up there and shot Dime in the back of the head. So I've lost a lot of friends and family over the years. And the more that happens, the more I realize that I have to embrace every good time I can, because it's just not going to last, man. These stupid things that happen, like with these dummies at the paint shop, you know. One stupid thing happens, next thing you know, you're in the morgue. My brother's being probably cremated right now. I already paid for it. I already have it arranged. I sent my buddy who's a funeral director over there. I said, you got to go pick up my brother. And I feel guilty that I'm here in Vegas. But I mean, I plan this, you know, I can't control what happens in the world. All I can do is how I deal with it. That's all I can do. How you deal with it. And not to be on a high horse, but you know, I don't really drink much. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I just want to try to live the life that I thought I was never going to get to live. And fortunately, because of the success I've had selling these goofy cars, I've been able to do things like this, like come to these beautiful places, see these beautiful things, and you know, and thank you so much to my fans. Oh my gosh, I've met so many people here that recognize me. They watch all my videos. They know everything that's going on. It's amazing. So thank you, all of those people, and to the people that went on my Patreon and sent like $1. That's amazing to me. Because at the end of the day, what is every person who seeks fame looking for? They're just looking for someone in the world to say, hey man, you matter to me. So it's been a rough week. I can't say it's been a rough life. These last few years have been pretty good to me. You know, life is fragile. I lost Vinny last year, and I lost so many people. I just thought, man, I got to go see David Lee Roth, man. I need a little preaching. I need a little of that in my life, you know, and it made me feel good for a minute. So, anyway, just thank you for everybody who subscribes. really means the world to me. It really does. That's why I take time to read every single comment. I personally heart each one and like it, respond. So I definitely do that. Thank you so much to all you subscribers. I'll try to maybe do a live thing. I'm going to go see the print show tonight, I think. By the time this is uploaded, I'll probably be already out of here. But anyway, just wanted to try to address some of those questions. Some people were commenting, you post too many Rolls Royce videos. And I'm like, I think I do too. But so many, they get the most views. So that's why I keep posting them. But for those of you that are like, that's a one-trick pony, I have 12 years of other content you can go look at. Apparently you haven't looked at the other hundreds of videos that I have. We've done all sorts of cars. If you're into movie cars, we have all those things. If you're into other, and by the way, I'm going to say this. My channel is not a car channel. My channel is about me. My channel is about Videobob. Okay? It's not a car channel. I just happen to have some cars, and that's what I do for a living. This is my life's blog channel. This is about what I do, what I think, how I feel, and this is what's up, right? This is what this channel is. It's not a car channel. You're watching the Videobob channel. And if you find my life interesting, and if you like me, well, then this is the dude. This is where you want to watch. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your subscriptions. Sorry I've been venting on you and telling you all my life's problems, but that's what this channel's about, and that's why you're watching, I guess. I love you all. Thank you, everybody. Van Halen.